84% of high school students are using AI for their schoolwork right now. Not experimenting, not occasionally. Right now, during this school year, the majority of American teenagers are running their homework through a machine. Schools responded by spending $30 billion on technology last year. Then they bought detection software to catch the kids using AI. And that software has a false positive rate high enough that universities are shutting it off and apologizing. Everyone is moving fast. Nobody sent home a receipt. We pulled it. In January 2025, 79% of high school students reported using generative AI for schoolwork. By May 2025, that was 84%, 5 percentage points in 4 months. Among those students, 69% specifically used ChatGPT for assignments. And ChatGPT now accounts for 42% of all AI interactions observed on school technology networks. That is out of nearly 1.2 million tracked interactions from December 2025 to February 2026. It is not a fringe behavior. It is the behavior. What are they using it for? Half of high school AI users say they use it to brainstorm ideas, edit essays, or find sources, which means some of them are using it the way a good librarian or writing tutor would, as a thinking partner. And some of them are having it write the assignment wholesale. Here is the part that should make every parent pause. Usage is not evenly distributed by grade. Among 11th and 12th graders, 24% specifically reported ChatGPT use. In 9th and 10th grade, 17%. In 7th and 8th grade, 12%. Adoption is climbing as students get older, which means by the time today's middle schoolers are in high school, 84% will feel like the floor, not the ceiling. Now follow the money, because that is where the story gets complicated. K-12 schools spent $30 billion on technology in 2024. Inside that number, the AI-specific slice was roughly $530 million in 2025 and is on track to hit $730 million by end of 2026, growing at 38% per year. The federal government has more than $800 million in AI education grants available in 2026. This is not a pilot program anymore. It is a budget line. The flagship tutoring tool right now is Khan Academy's Khanmigo. It went from 40,000 student users in the 2023 to 2024 school year to 700,000 users in 2024 to 2025, a 17-fold jump in a year. Over 1 million students are expected to use it in 2025 to 2026. A 2025 meta-analysis of 87 studies found students using AI tools outperformed their peers by an average of 12.4% on assessments. In AI-powered math programs specifically, test scores rose 19% within 3 semesters. Those numbers are real. They are also not universal, because the same research turns up a counterweight: uncontrolled AI use, where the tool does the thinking for the student instead of with the student, is associated with disengaged learners and lower actual comprehension. The technology is powerful. The implementation is the hard part. And implementation costs money and expertise that not every school has. Now, the cheating side of the ledger: 56% of college students report using AI for graded assignments. Schools responded. 68% of educational institutions have now integrated AI detection software. The dominant tool is Turnitin, wired directly into Canvas, Blackboard, and Moodle. Turnitin claims its AI detector is 98% accurate, with a false positive rate under 1%. The independent numbers tell a different story. Real-world testing shows false positives in 2 to 5% of genuinely human-written papers. A Washington Post review flagged rates as high as 50% in limited testing. Australian Catholic University logged nearly 6,000 AI cheating allegations in 2024, roughly 90% of all their academic integrity cases that year. After investigation, about 25% of those referrals were dismissed. In March 2025, they abandoned Turnitin's AI detector entirely. Vanderbilt did the same. The tool is also documented to disproportionately flag non-native English speakers and neurodivergent students, the populations who often write in patterns a model finds unfamiliar. The detection arms race has a civilian casualty problem. Here is the number buried under all the other numbers. 57% of U.S. teachers had no formal AI training as of fall 2024, and that gap is widest in high-poverty schools. For teachers who do use AI weekly, the data is striking. They save 5.9 hours per week on lesson preparation and administrative work, equivalent to roughly 6 weeks per school year. 64% say AI-modified lesson materials are better quality than what they would have produced without it. Teacher burnout ran at 53% in 2025, down from 60% in 2024, and AI is part of that improvement. But a teacher in a well-funded suburban district with professional development, device budgets, and high-speed broadband is having a completely different experience than a teacher in an underfunded urban or rural school where students may not have reliable internet at home, and the school laptop was bought in 2019. Wealthy districts adopt and integrate. Lower-income districts get inferior tools with no support or get nothing at all. The same gap that existed in computer science education access is reproducing itself with AI right now, in real time. The technology does not close the achievement gap by default. Left to the market, it follows the money. Here is the receipt. 84% of high school students use AI for schoolwork. Schools are spending $30 billion on technology, and the AI slice is growing at 38% a year. The tutoring tools show real learning gains in controlled settings and real disengagement when they are just handed over without structure. The detection software is catching some cheaters and falsely accusing some kids who wrote their own work. And the schools with money are pulling ahead while the schools without it are falling further behind. Not a conspiracy, not a miracle. A technology arriving faster than the institutions that are supposed to manage it. We will keep pulling the receipts, the numbers behind the noise. So what do you actually do with all of this? 4 moves straight from the data. 1. If you are a parent, ask your school district for its AI policy in writing. As of the end of 2025, only 34 states had developed any statewide AI guidance for schools. If your district does not have a policy, the answer to every AI question is left to individual teachers, and that is inconsistency, not strategy. 2. If your student uses AI for schoolwork, talk about the difference between using it to think and using it to skip thinking. The research is clear that the gain comes from the first kind of use. The second kind produces a paper, but not a skill. 3. If your student gets flagged by AI detection, know that the tools misfire, especially on non-native English writers and students with atypical writing patterns. The burden of proof should not automatically fall on the student. Ask for the evidence. 4. Pay attention to whether your district is investing in teacher AI training. The 5.9-hour weekly save only shows up when teachers know what they are doing with the tool. A school that bought AI software but did not train its teachers bought the label, not the benefit. Want the full receipt? Every number, every source. It is on our Substack, and the link is on our channel. If the data matters to you, subscribe. We will have the next receipt ready.